Hi everyone. This video is going to be about the division. Now I know a lot of people cringe when you hear the words division because it's a long process. But I want to tell you the truth, and I've told you guys this before. Nobody's favorite thing is to do long division. It's called long division for a reason. Okay. But I want to walk you through the steps. Now, in your packet from week 1, day 2, I did provide you a handout with the steps of long division. Okay, it was just something that I found. I figured, let me send it home. But I understand not everybody gets it by reading it. You need to hear somebody go over it. So hopefully this video helps you and ease your mind at division. Okay. On the paper that I gave you guys, and if you don't have the paper, please pause the video and find your division packet. Okay, I'll give you guys a few seconds to do that. Okay, so hopefully you have your packet for division. If you don't, just put the video on pause for a little bit longer and find your stuff. I like this particular packet because it breaks it down for you step by step. And on the side, on this, if you're looking at the paper, the left-hand side, it has the steps there listed for you. So the paper, it has your steps listed that you're looking for. That you divide, you multiply, you subtract, you bring down, and then you continue the process over again. So we're going to start small first. Okay, I'm just going to put a basic division problem up here. Just have to think of one. So we have our division. Let's do this. 9 divided into 72. Okay, so when we're doing division, you ask yourself, first, you take a digit at a time. Can our outside number, that would be our divisor, this guy here is the divisor. Can that go into my dividend? Okay, this is my dividend. But I want to break up that dividend, okay? Sometimes it makes life easier to break it into pieces. So I start off, say, can 9, my divisor 9, divide into the 7. I want to start there with the 7. Can 9 divide into 7? The answer is no, because the dividend number has to be larger than or equal to the divisor in order for it to go in. So in that case, we have to now go to include the next number. So now I'm looking at the whole 72. We say, how many times does 9 go into 72? Well, this is where your multiplication tables might come in handy. So if you not sure of your multiplication facts, you can find one online. Okay, if you have a phone, you can screenshot it if you find something online. But I'm going to ask myself, 9 goes into 72 how many times? Well, I know 9 times 8 is 72. Okay, so that is my divide. That was step 1. On my worksheet, it's step 1. I divide it first. Then I'm multiplying. Well, what am I multiplying by? I'm taking my quotient, that's my answer, my quotient, and I'm going to multiply it by 9 times 8. So I'm going to multiply. That gives me 72. I'm going to subtract. And I have no remainder. Okay, so this guy down here would be our remainder if we were to have one. In this case, we don't have a remainder. Okay, so that's the basics with dividing. Okay, you divide your divisor into your dividend. You try to do it one digit at a time. Okay, then you multiply. That means you take your quotient and you times it by the number on the outside, your divisor. And you put that underneath. your dividend. Then you subtract to find out if you have a remainder. So that's the basic with it. Okay, we're going to do one more other example before I turn to the worksheet here. Actually, instead of using the eraser, I'm going to do this and open up another board. There we go. All right. So here's another example I'm going to try to come up with here. We have 6 into 82, let's say. 82. So here again, 6 divided by 82. So my divisor, okay, that's the guy on the outside, the 6. I'm asking myself, how many times does it divide into my dividend? But again, I want to break it down. So I do, can 6 divide into 8 evenly or without going over? Well, since my 8's larger than the 6, that's a guaranteed yes. It can go in, we know, only one time. Okay, because 1 times 6 is 6. Then we do our subtraction. We get left with 2. Okay, so now this is continuing now. This is building from that little problem that we did first. Now I need to bring down my 2. So on the steps on your worksheets there, it says divide, which I did. 6 divided into 8. Then I multiplied the 1 times the 6 to come up with the 6. Then I subtracted. I got 2. And then I'm bringing down. You bring down to only the next digits. Okay, you bring down 1 digit at a time. So now I'm dividing all over again. The process starts all over. 6 divided into 22. So again, I want to go as close as I can without going over. So I know 6 times 3 is 18. I only went to 3 because I know 6 times 4 is 24, and that's too high. So I have to do some subtraction here. Do some borrowing. Bring that over. So I'm left with 4. So 4... in this case would be my remainder, R4, okay? So what I showed you here is basically showing you what you have to do on your worksheet, but you also have to check it, okay? So when we check it, we take our quotient, but just the 13 part, the whole number part. So this would be the check. Switch to red here. We're going to do the check. Okay, which is required on the worksheet. I want to see the check. So I'm going to take my 13, and I'm using multiplication, because the opposite of division is multiplication. So I know 6 times 3 is 18. We're going to carry our 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus that 1 we carried is 7. So 78. So I see 78, 82. But don't forget, I have that remainder 4, which I'm adding on. 8 plus 4 is 12. 1 plus 7 is 8. There's my 82. So that's my check. Okay. I'm going to do one more with you. I want to now go to the worksheet here. Okay. Get a new screen here. Go. Switch. All right. So let's look at the first example here. 3 divided into 56. Okay. So remember, step 1 is divide. 3 divides into 5. How many times? 1 time. Then we multiply. Then we subtract. What am I subtracting? The 5 minus 3. What's next? Look over at your list. Bring down. I'm bringing down the next number, 26. Then what's next? I start the process all over again. I'm dividing. I'm dividing my divisor, the 3, into the 26. Okay, so 3 into 26, without going over, would be 8. It's 24. Subtract again. It's on my list. I have no more numbers to bring down. So my answer to number 1 would be 18. Remainder 2. Okay. So you should be filling in those boxes with all those missing numbers. Okay. My suggestion would be to maybe have scrap paper. do the steps on the scrap paper, then go back to your worksheet and fill in the blanks, okay? Sometimes when you see the blanks and all those numbers, you get a little overwhelmed. Just take the problem, do the problem separately by following along with the video, and then go back and fill in your blanks. It'll make better sense, I think. So we have the check still to do. Don't forget about the check. So we have the check. I'm going to come over here. Do my check over here because this is required. All right, we have our quotient, 18, times our divisor, which was 3. I'm going to multiply 24. 3 times 1 plus the 2 is 5. 54, but I got to remember that remainder. I'm adding that on. There's my 56. So I know my work checks out. So hopefully this video helps you with the division. Okay. If you have any questions, of course, always leave me something in the comments. Excuse me. Or you can, let me know via email or check in with me. If you have to call me, you can always do that as well. And I can always get back to you. I can, call you myself and walk you through some more examples. These division worksheets was split up between 2 days. So please do not overwhelm yourself. I know there's a lot of division problems here. Don't overwhelm yourself. Split them up into 2 days, okay? Or 3 days if you're a little slower at it. But break it up a little bit at a time. Hope this video helps. See you guys on the next.